Assalamu alaikum, students. All of you, please take out your readers. We are going to complete our chapter number 4. Okay, so all of you open your books. The Ghost. We were doing The Ghost and page number 36. Page number 36. Okay. The boys, please keep your cameras on. Kaleem, turn on your camera. Okay. Have you opened your books, page number 36? Now we have read till here that one evening, Mr. Wormwood entered the house and he was in a very bad temper. And so he saw Matilda. She was in the living room and she was reading some book. And Mr. Wormwood became so much angry at Matilda that he tore her book and threw it in the garbage can. Okay. And then Matilda became very much upset. She wanted to cry, but she wanted to teach her father a lesson. So that is why she thought of a plan and she went to Fred's house. Fred was a friend of Matilda and he was a small boy of 6 who lived just round the corner from her. And for days he had been going on about his great talking parrot his father had given him. Beta, just 1 minute. I'm listening Azan, then I will start. Okay. So Fred had been talking about a talking parrot his father had given to him. So Matilda, she went to Fred's house because she wanted to take Fred's parrot from him. Fred was delighted and led her up to his delighted means happy and led her up to his bedroom where a truly magnificent blue and yellow parrot sat in a tall cage. So Fred was very happy to see Matilda and he took her to his bedroom and there in a big cage, a beautiful, magnificent, marvelous blue and yellow parrot was sitting. There it is, Fred said. Its name is Chopper. Make it talk, Matilda said. You can't make it talk, Fred said. You have to be patient. I'll talk. It will talk when it feels like it. So Fred said that this is my parrot. Its name is Chopper. So Matilda said, please make it talk. He said, no, it talks on its own when it feels like it. I cannot make it talk. They hung around waiting. Suddenly the parrot said, hello, hello, hello. It was exactly like a human voice. Matilda said, that's amazing. What else can it say? So they kept waiting for some time and then the parrot said, hello, hello, hello. Matilda was extremely amazed to see the talking parrot. That's wonderful. What else can it say? Rattle my bones, the parrot said, giving a wonderful imitation of a spooky voice. Spooky means weird. Okay, weird. Rattle my bones. Rattling sound, making a sound. Rattle my bones. He's always saying that, Fred told her. What else can he say? Okay, now student, who will start reading? Please raise your hand. Roma. Unmute your mic, beta.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
That's about it, Fred said. But it is pretty marvelous.
Marvelous.
Marvelous, don't you think? It's fabulous, Matilda said. Will you lend him to me just for one night? No, Fred said. Certainly not. I'll give you all my next week's pocket money, Matilda said. That is different. Fred
That
thought
was.
about it. Yes, teacher?
Nothing better. That was different. You continue.
That was different. Fred thought about it for a few seconds. All right, then, he said, if you promise to return him tomorrow. Matilda staggered back to her own empty house, carrying the tall cage in both hands. There was a large fireplace in the dining room, and she now set about veg-
Wedging,
wedging
wedging.
wedging the cage. There
Fixing
was
means
a
the
la-
fixing, huh?
Wedging the cage. There
Cage
was
up
a
the chimney. Hmm.
cage up the
And out of
chimney
sight.
and out of the
No better.
sight.
Out
This
of
was
sight, huh?
this
When
wasn't so easy, but she managed it in the end. Hello, hello. The bird called down to her. Hello, hello. Shut up, you nut, Matilda said, and she went out to wash
hello.
the suit off her hands. That
Suit
evening,
beta.
while the mother
Suit is the black powder. Okay, black powder which appears on her hands now because of the chimney. Now tell you a good reading, Roma. Okay, now I'm going to explain till here. Then some other student will read. Okay, students. Now what happened? Fred first refused to give his parrot to Matilda, but Matilda said that you can have my next week's pocket money. Then Fred started thinking thoughtfully, this can be done. Then he said to Matilda that if you promise that you're going to return tomorrow, then I'll let you my talking parrot. So Matilda agreed. Then Matilda quietly went back to her own empty house. There was nobody in her house at that time. And then there was a large fireplace in the dining room, and she now set about wedging the cage up in the chimney. So what did she do? She fixed the cage in the chimney. Okay, that is why the black powder appeared on her hands and out of sight, that nobody could see it. When the parrot would be talking, nobody would be able to see the parrot. So it was a tough job for a little girl to wedge the cage inside the chimney, but she managed to do it. Hello, 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 the bird started saying. So Matilda said, stay quiet, you nut. And then she went out to wash her hands. Okay, next. Kinza.
That evening, while the mother, the father, the brother, and Matilda were having supper as usual in the living room in front of the television, a voice came loud and clear from the dining room across the hall. Hello, hello, hello. It said, Harry, cried the mother.
Harry, this
Why?
right. Harry, she's crying, but she's shouted, Harry. Like she's scared.
Harry, Harry, cried the mother, turning white. There's someone in the house. I heard a voice. I heard a voice, so I suddenly the brother said. Matilda jumped up and switched off the telly. She said, listen. They all stopped eating and sat there were tense listening. Hello, 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 came the voice again. There it is, cried the brother. It's burglars, hissed the
Burglars.
mother. They are in the dining room. I think they are. The father said, sitting tight. Then go and catch them. Harry hissed the mother. Go out and collar them red-handed. The father didn't move. He seemed in no hurry to dash off and be a hero. His face has turned grey. Yet on this age is the mother. They are probably after the silver.
Good, Kinza. Good. Okay, I'll explain till here. Now, what happened that evening while the mother, the father, the brother, and Matilda, they were having supper? You know that they had supper in front of television, okay, in the living room. So, in front of the television, at that time, a voice came loud. Hello, hello, hello. Obviously, if there is nobody in the house except the family members, and somebody started saying just like a human voice, because the parrot's voice was similar to a human voice, said, hello, hello, hello. Harry, cried the mother, there's someone in the house. I heard a voice. So did I, brother said, and Matilda, she quickly jumped up and turned off the television. Shh, listen. They all stopped eating and sat there very tense, listening. Hello, 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 came the voice again. There it is, cried the brother. So the mother said, it's burglars. Burglars are the robbers, okay, who broke into the house. They're in the dining room. I think they are. So the father, Mr. Harry, Mr. Wormwood, he was tense and he said, yes, I think that they are inside our house. So Matilda's mother said to her husband, go and catch them and collar them red-handed. Collar means catch them, held them, or hold them red-handed. Like red-handed, it's a phrase which we use if somebody is doing a robbery and the police just catch them. But the father, he didn't move because he was scared. Okay, so his wife kept on insisting, go, go, they are probably after the silver. But the husband didn't do anything. He wiped his lips nervously with his napkin. Why don't we all go and look together, he said. Come on then, the brother said. Come on, mom. And they all started going in the living room. Okay. Now, who wants to read? Yes, Kali. Yes, Kali.
They are definitely in the dining room, Matilda whispered. I'm sure they are. The mother grabbed a poker from a fireplace. The father took a golf club that was standing in the corner. The brother seized a table lamp, tripping on the plug out of his socket. Matilda took the knife she had. Matilda took the knife she had been eating with knife she had been eating with, and all four of them crept toward the dining room door, the father keeping well behind the others. Hello, 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 came the voice again. Come on, Matilda cried, and she burst into the room, brandishing her knife stick up. She yelled, we have caught you. We have
caught you, yes. Yes, Kali. Vita, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay.
The others followed her, waving their weapons. Then they started around the room. There was no one here. There's no one here. The father said, "Great."
Relieved.
The father said, "Greatly relieved." I heard him, Harry. The mother
shrieked.
We heard him, Harry. The mother shrieked, still quaking. I distinctly heard his voice. So did you? I am certainly. I heard him. Matilda cried. I am certain. I heard him. Matilda cried. He's in her somewhere. She began searching behind the sofa and behind the curtains.
Okay, good, Kali. Now I will explain till here. Okay. Now the husband said to all the family members that, don't you think it's better that we all should go together and look for the thief, look for the burglar? So they are definitely in the dining room, Matilda whispered. I'm sure they are. So Matilda said, yes, I believe that they are in the dining room. The mother grabbed a poker. Poker is like a metal rod. Okay, it's a metal rod. In the picture, you have the books with you. In the picture, you can see the mother is having a poker in her hand. The father is having a golf club. And in the picture, you can also see that Matilda is in the first, then followed by her brother, then mother. And in the end, at a great distance, you can see Mr. Wormwood. So Mr. Wormwood was deadly scared if somebody would do something bad with him. So the father took a golf club that was standing in the corner. The brother seized a table lamp, ripping the plug out of its socket. You can see that the socket is also with the table lamp. And Matilda took the knife she had been eating with, and all four of them crept towards the dining room door, the father keeping well behind the others. Hello, hello, hello. Again the voice came. So Matilda shouted, come on, and she ran into the room, brandishing. Brandishing means waving, moving. Okay, what is the meaning of brandishing? Waving. Stick them. This EM is the full form of them. THEM, them. Okay, stick them. Stick them up, she yelled. We have caught you. The others followed her, waving their weapons. Then they stopped. They stared around the room, but there was no one. Matilda knew that thing, that there was no one around in the room, but she wanted to scare her parents. So what happened? There was nobody around. The father was extremely relieved. He took a sigh that thank God there was no one in the room. I heard him, Harry, the mother shrieked, still quacking. Quacking means shivering, trembling. Quaking, quacking, shivering, trembling. Distinctly means clearly. I distinctly heard his voice. The mother said, no, I heard him and I clearly heard his voice. I'm certain. When you say I'm certain, it means I'm sure. S-U-R-E. I'm sure. I heard him. Matilda also cried, yes, I'm 100% sure that I also heard that voice. He is in here somewhere. She began searching behind the sofa and behind the curtains. So she started searching. Then came the voice once again, soft as spooky. Spooky means strange, weird. Rattle my bones, it said. Rattle my bones. They all jumped, including Matilda, who was a pretty good actress. They stared around the room. They looked around the room, but there was nobody. It's a ghost, Matilda said. Okay, now who will read? Raise your hand, beta, or I will ask myself. Khatija, Kinza, Kaleem have read. Now Musaf. Yes, Musaf?
They all jumped in. Matilda, who was a pretty good actress, was there. Ghost, Matilda said. Heaven help us, cried others, clutching her. I'm getting out of here, the father said. Grayer than ever now. They all fled, slamming the door behind them. The next afternoon, Matilda managed to get a rather sooty and grumpy parrot down from the chimney and out of the house without being seen. She carried it through the back door and ran with it all the way to Fred's house. Did it behave itself? Fred asked her. We have a lovely time with it, Matilda said. My parents adored it.
Adored it. Okay. Till here, first I'll explain and then we'll start our next chapter. Okay. Now what happened? Then suddenly a voice was heard, rattle my bones, and all of them jumped up, including Matilda, who was acting very nicely. It's a ghost. Heaven help us, her mother shouted. Heaven over here means God. God help us. Okay, she held her husband tightly round the neck. I know it's a ghost. This room is haunted. I thought you knew that. And Matilda was increasing the fear of her parents. She said, I thought that you people might be knowing about it, that there lived a ghost here. Then the mother continued screaming, save us, save us. And the father, he just ran away from there, slamming the door, closing the door. They all fled. Fled means ran away. Okay, fled means ran away, slamming the door behind them. The next afternoon, Matilda managed to get a rather sooty. Sooty means black. Okay, are you writing down the meanings now? Sooty, black, and grumpy, bad-tempered. Okay, sooty black because the parrot was in the chimney, and because of the smoke of the chimney, it turned black. And grumpy, bad-tempered. So somehow Matilda managed to get that parrot down from the chimney, and out of the house they went away. Then she went it to Fred's house, and Fred asked her, "Did it behave itself?" "We had a great time with it," Matilda said. "My parents adored it." Adored it means loved it. Now, arithmetic. Yes, Khatija. All of you know what is arithmetic? Mathematics. Okay, beta, before you start, I just want to tell you that all of you know that you have a dictation test on. Tell me, when do you have a dictation test? You don't know?
Yes.
Beta, I've sent you the dictation pages as dictation chapters. Didn't you get your homework?
Yes, teacher, I get it, but there was no written that on which day is the test.
It's on Thursday, this Thursday. Okay, it means 21, 20, 23rd July. Okay. All of you, please listen to me carefully. The dictation chapters I've sent to you. Okay, how much land does a man need? And fire, and one chapter was, one more chapter was included.
Paper cranes.
The paper cranes of peace. Okay, and the dictation test is on, yes, and dictation test is on Thursday. Plus, you're going to have a tenses test. Tenses, maybe I'll take an oral test, but I will write all your names, and I'm going to ask you people, and then I'm going to give you the remarks accordingly. Remarks or marks. Yes, Kaleem, you want to ask something?
Excuse
Yes,
me,
Kaleem.
teacher.
Yes.
Teacher, you have sent it syllabus जिसमें टीचर सारे चैप्टर्स के नाम लिखे हैं टीचर आपने उसमें एक मिजरी चैप्टर है और एक द डायरी ऑफ स्मूथ पेपर्स जो चैप्टर है वो तो नहीं आपने मिलवाए हुए
Beta, misery, we are going to do it. And Kaleem, why are you speaking in Urdu? You need to speak in English, okay? Misery chapter, we will do it inshallah next week, because I hope that you people have sent your notebooks to school for checking. Have you sent your notebooks?
Teacher, they have said that send your notebooks on 22 July.
Okay. Then you have to send your notebooks. And next week, inshallah, we'll do misery. And from the diary of Samuel Pepys, I think that we were not having the online classes. In those days, I've sent you the notes also, and I've asked you that you have to do it yourself. Anyways, if you're facing any problem, we'll do it, inshallah. Okay?
Okay.
Yes, beta, we need to do our work also. One more student has raised her hand. Okay, afterwards. Now, Khatija, where is Khatija? Yes, Khatija, start reading. Arithmetic.
Matilda longed for her parents to be good and loving and understanding and honorable and intelligent. The fact that they were none of these things
None. How do we pronounce this word, beta? None. Okay?
None. None of these things was something she had to put up with. It was not easy to do so, but the new game she had invented of punishing one or both of them each time they were beastly to her made her life more or less bearable. Being very small and very young, the only power Matilda had over anyone in her family was brain power. For sheer cleverness, she
There's a problem.
any 5-year-old girl in any family was always
obliged
to do as she was told. However, assigning the orders might be. Thus, She
Thus,
was always
the sound, the sound, thus.
thus she was always forced to eat her evening meals out of TV dinner trays in front of the dreaded box. She always had to stay alone on weekday afternoons, and whenever she was told to shut up, she had to shut up. Her safety valve, the
Was
thing that
her
was
safety valve.
her safety valve, the thing that prevented her from going round the bend, was the fun of devising and dishing out these splendid punishments. And the lovely thing was that they seemed to work, at any rate for short periods. The father in
Particular. Hockey.
particular became less cocky and unbearable for several days after receiving a dose of Matilda's magic medicine.
Okay, good. Okay. First, I will repeat till here. Arithmetic. Matilda longed for her parents to be good and loving and understanding and honorable and intelligent. Okay, she wanted, longed for means really wanted to have something. So she really wanted her parents to be like other parents, loving, adorable, good, caring, but they were not like that. The fact that they were none of these things, none. Neither they were good, nor loving, nor understanding, nor honorable, and nor intelligent. So she had to put up with it. She had to tolerate with whatever her parents are. It was not easy to do so. But the new game she had invented. So what was the new game? She punished her parents. Either Mr. Wormwood or Mrs. Wormwood or both of them. But most of the time, Mr. Wormwood. Each time they were beastly to her. Beastly to her, right? Behaved badly with her. Okay? Made her life more or less bearable. Bearable means tolerable, which you can tolerate. Tolerable. Tolerable. Salim, be present in the class. Being very small and very young, the only power, because Matilda was a very young girl, she was just 5 years old, okay? So, and she was very small, but she had extraordinary brain power. Was her brain power. For sheer cleverness, she could run rings around them all. Like she could make them fool, or she could like devise splendid punishments for them. But the fact remained that any 5-year-old girl in any family was always obliged. Obliged means that it's your duty, responsibility. Okay, like you're forced to do something. You're obliged. We are obliged to follow the rules of our school, obliged to do as she was told. However, SNN means stupid. SNN means stupid. The orders might be. So because she was just 5 year old, so she was forced to follow all the orders of her parents, whether or not they are good or bad. Thus, she was always forced to eat her evening meals out of TV dinner trays in front of the dreaded box. What is the dreaded box here? I've told you before. It's a TV. She always had to stay alone on weekday afternoons, and whenever she was told to shut up, she had to shut up. Whenever her parents said to her that you had to stay quiet, then she had to stay quiet. Her safety was the thing that prevented her. Like the only thing which could save her was the act of the fun of devising and dishing out. Like she thought of the punishments, splendid punishments. Then she thought of a plan how she would give punishment to her parents. And the best thing was that they all seemed to work at any rate for short periods. The father in particular became less cocky. Cocky means overconfident. He became less confident. Like he was very overconfident. He was always boasting and bullying about himself, and unbearable for several days after receiving a dose of Matilda's magic medicine. Okay, we'll read finish till first of all I want to ask questions still here. Now all of you please put your books upside down. Kaleem, will you please sit down? Why are you walking? Sit down. Okay, now please raise your hand. I'm going to ask questions from the reader. the chapters which we have read. Okay. Who was Mrs. Phelps? Who was Mrs. Phelps? Please raise your hand. Yes, Khalid. Who was Mrs. Phelps?
Mrs. Webb was the librarian in the village.
Good. Mrs. Phelps was the librarian in the village. Good, students? Okay. What work was done by Mr. Wormwood? What job did he do? Yes, Roma? Yes, Roma?
So he was a dealer of second-hand cars.
Okay, he was a dealer of second-hand cars. Good, Roma? Okay. Now, who will tell me, who will describe Mr. Wormwood? Like what sort of man he was, how did he sell his cars, what tactics were used by him in selling his cars, how did he cheat his customers? Can anybody tell me, describe Mr. Wormwood in your own words? We have read the chapters now, so who will describe it? Quickly, beta, quickly. Who will describe Mr. Wormwood in your own words? You have read about Mr. Wormwood, okay? Don't waste time. Now I will ask myself. Yes, Musaf. Musaf, turn on your camera. Musaf disappeared. Okay, Nihal.
Yes,
Yes,
teacher.
Nihal.
Yes, teacher. Yes, teacher.
Yes. Yes, Musaf. Describe Mr. Wormwood in your own words. What sort of man he was and how did he sell his cars, his rotten cars?
Teacher, Mr. Wormwood is Matilda's father and
Was.
a
Use past tense.
secondary and the point of the story, he is a
Musaf, you're reading from the book. I've said to you that your readers must be upside down. You need to tell in your own words whatever you learned. Okay, I'll ask you next question. Be prepared for it. Yes, Nihal. Nihal, I've unmuted you, beta. Unmute your mic. Yes. Nihal, first you have unmuted it. Go again. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, now tell me,
Teacher,
Nihal.
he was stupid.
Hmm.
And he always gave value to money.
Good. Yes.
And he was always rude to his daughter and his son. Mm,
Okay.
He was brash.
Okay. He was? Sorry, what did you say? Rash or harsh? Okay,
Harsh.
I'll tell it harsh. Okay. So Mr. Wormwood was a rather bad-tempered man, and he was always bullying and bullying others, and he was boasting about his intelligence, that he's so much intelligent that he could sell his second-hand cars at a very high price and he could earn high profits, and he was dishonest. Okay, these questions I can ask you in the exams also. He was dishonest and he cheated his customers by mixing sawdust in the gearboxes and fiddling the mileage. Remember that how did he turn the mileage? He converted the 100,000 mileage to just 10,000 mileage. Okay, so he was basically a dishonest man, a clever and dishonest man, and he was not at all kind to his daughter. Rather, he gave importance to his son because he believed that his son would continue his business, and he didn't give a single bit importance to reading. Okay, he didn't like his daughter reading books. Okay, what did Matilda do with the hat of her father? What did Matilda do with the hat of her father? We have read the super glue. We have read that chapter. So what did Matilda do with the hat of her father? Gee, who will tell me? Beta, you don't remember? Okay, what did Matilda do with the hat of her father? It's very easy. If you see on the screen, what is it written? What did she do? She squeezed a line of glue very neatly all round the inside rim of the hat. Okay, she took super glue and she squeezed the glue inside the rim, in the inside rim of the hat. And when Mr. Wormwood wore his hat, the glue stuck to his hair. Okay, and he couldn't take it off. Okay, sure. Now, what did Mr. Wormwood do to the book which was being read by Matilda? What did he do to the book? What did he do to the book? Who will tell me? Please, it's very easy. What did he do to the book? On Thursday, we read it. Yes, Musaf.
Teacher, he tear it.
Yes, he tore the book bit by bit and threw the pieces into the waste paper basket. Okay, who was Fred? Who was Fred? Who was Fred? Beta, who was Fred? And why did Matilda go to Fred's house? Kaleem, be attentive. Who was Fred and why did Matilda go to Fred's house? Other than Musaf? Okay. Yes, Musaf? Yes, right now we have
Teacher,
read
Fred
it.
was Matilda's friend,
Friend, yes.
and he went
Hmm.
to his house
She
for
went.
bringing the parrot.
Yes. Fred was a 6-year-old boy. He was friend of Matilda. And Matilda went to his house to take his talking parrot because she wanted to punish her father for tearing her book. Got it? Okay. How did she punish her father? How did she punish her father? Yes, Roma?
Should the parrot make the sound of hello and hello, and his
Yes.
father was scared of it, that in this way she.
Good, good. Okay, correct, Roma. She put the talking parrot's cage in the chimney, and then it took out this sound of like hello, 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 and rattle my bones. And it scared her family, all family, especially her father, was deadly scared and ran away from there. Got it? Okay. Okay. Chale, we finished. Now 1 minute time is left. Okay, students, you want to ask any confusion regarding dictation or anything like that, because now your class will be on Thursday. I repeat it again that you are going to have 3 chapters and you need to have your neat papers with you, with your name, with your class and everything written down. And you can also mention the chapter numbers. And mostly I will ask you to write down the words. Okay, you understand? Now any question? Yes, Roma?
Excuse me, teacher, will you give us a paragraph?
Yes. Beta, I think words. But maybe if paragraph, you just need to prepare the 3 chapters. Can be a paragraph, there can be words. Yes, Kinza. Yes, Kinza.
टीचर हमें जो आपने जो मतलब कि हमें बताया ग्रामर का टेंसेस का, वो हमने कौन कौन से टेंसेस याद करने हैं?
Beta, you are going to practice all the tenses, especially simple present. Okay, I'll ask you to do simple and continuous. Simple present,
Okay.
present continuous, simple past, past continuous.